Hey everybody, this is Poyette, and I just wanted to do this little short video before I go to bed tonight. I had a devastating loss in my family this week. One of my dear cousins succumbed to pancreatic cancer, and I have had several of my family members in recent years. Well, my father, my dear uncle, my grandfather, and several other people in my family have had this dreadful disease to take their lives. And what I wanted to do was, in keeping with my talking to you about natural remedies and not necessarily remedies, because I'm not promoting or purporting that I have any cure for anything. But what I'm trying to do is promote a natural lifestyle, a healthy lifestyle that will help prevent uh, you or someone you love from suffering this kind of death. Obviously, if you're going to be healthy, you're going to have to seriously address some of your habits. Um, Primarily, the use of tobacco products. If you're using tobacco products, um, you're asking for it. And I know that it's highly addictive. I know it's very hard to break these habits, but we got to get serious if we're planning to try to live and try to have a good quality of life. You got to get serious about breaking that habit. Um, that's number one. And number two, we got to get serious about cleaning up our diet and what we eat, what we drink. I've already in previous videos told you about, getting the whites out of your diet. If you didn't see my previous video, I'm talking about, white flour products like eating biscuits and things like that that are made with this white refined flour, because all it does is clog up your system. And if you clog up the system, you're going to get waste backing up into the system, and it's going to cause cells to become polluted, and they're going to mutate, and that's how cancer takes hold in your body. Also, not only the white flour, but the white rice, the white salt, the white sugar, and also, making sure that we just keep, and of course, white pasta and that kind of thing, keep that to a minimum. I mean, it's kind of hard. I don't even like wheat pasta, but and those of you who tried it, if you like it, great. But I've actually found a great alternative to the pasta with uh, the zucchini spaghetti. I had that the other day in a restaurant, and as a matter of fact, it was in Olive Garden, and it was really tasty. So, that's just another thing that you can consider if you are trying to get an alternative to white pasta. So, you got to get the whites out. You got to stop smoking. Got to get the whites out of your diet. Use your Himalayan salt. Use your whole grain breads if you're gonna eat bread. Use your brown rice or your whole rice, like the wild rice. Make sure you incorporate some other good firm grain in your rice, like barley or something like that, to make sure you have enough fiber in the diet. If you're going to eat rice, rice is not necessarily something that you have to eat, and you shouldn't eat it all the time. But if you're going to eat it, you need to eat it where it still has the bran attached to the grain, where it's not been stripped like white rice. Because white rice is nothing but starch. It's going to turn to sugar, and sugar feeds cancer cells. And so, and I'm going to talk about cancer cells in a few minutes, but I'm just trying to do a little review of the basics that we've already covered in the previous videos. So we're going to get the whites out. Make sure that you replace those whites with healthy wholes, such as the brown rice, the whole grain, the instead of the bleached wheat, the bleached white bread, and all that kind of thing. You don't want that kind of stuff in your body. And then you want to make sure that you're using your Himalayan pink salt versus the white table salt. I had someone say to me a couple of days ago, oh, I'm using the Himalayan salt, but a friend of mine told me that was too much sodium. I could understand it if Himalayan salt was nothing but sodium. Now, your table salt is nothing but sodium and chloride. It's two elements. But Himalayan pink salt is 84 elements that are required for the human body to function properly. And so I'm not telling you to turn a whole canister of pink Himalayan salt up to your head. What I'm telling you is that as you would normally use salt, use your Himalayan pink salt. I usually take a little half a teaspoon of it, especially if I'm feeling like I'm catching a cold or mucus is building up in my body and that kind of thing, because it'll thin that mucus out and helps clear my head up. But, and sometimes I just use it because I just want a little extra energy. So you have to decide, it's your body. You can't let anybody make decisions for you about how you're going to take care of your temple. I'm trying to give you advice that I use myself. And like I said before, I'm a healthy person. And so when I'm looking for advice, I try to take advice from people who practice what they preach. And so, if someone is walking around and they're on high blood pressure medication, or they're on insulin, or they're uh, on dialysis, and they got something to say about your health regimen, how much stock should you put in what they have to say? And I'm not trying to throw any shade, but what I'm saying is you need to take advice from people who are living what they're talking about. And so, just be mindful of that. So before somebody goes shooting holes in your health regimen, you need to check the source. And just be confident that if you make a decision to change something about your diet or your lifestyle, that's your decision. You take in charge of your life. Don't you let other people make you feel bad because you're trying to eat healthy, you're trying to exercise, you're trying to make yourself, um, you know, healthy enough to survive in this body for the rest of your lifetime, because you don't get another body. You can get a whole lot of other things. You can get a house, you can get a car, you cannot get another body. And this body has to last us. And so be serious about taking care of this temple. So if you're smoking, you need to get serious about stopping your smoking. If you're chewing tobacco and dipping snuff, whatever you're doing with tobacco products, you need to make a decision that, you know what, my life is worth more than whatever little satisfaction I'm getting from this. Okay? So get rid of the tobacco, get rid of the whites. You got to get on clean water. I've already told you, that you can go right there to your local Walmart or Lowe's or wherever and get yourself a water filter to put right on your tap. I use the pure water filter. I'm not telling you to use what I use. You can get your Brita. You can get whatever water filter you want to get. You can put it right on your tap, or you can buy the pitchers where you pour the water in and filter it out. And they have, you go online, go on Amazon, anywhere. You can find a ton of water purification systems. But you want to try to make sure that the water that you put in your body is as pure as possible, because you already challenged. We're stressed out already as individuals in this, particularly in this country. But we're already stressed out, so you don't want to stress the body anymore with it having to process toxins that might be in your water. So you want to clean up the water, and then of course, I use my little sachets to alkaline my water. But the thing is, your Himalayan pink salt, that provides you enough electrolytes for your body to be alkaline. So anyway, we're going to just move on from that. But let me just talk to you for a minute, for the last few minutes that I have, because I'm not going to make this a long video, about cancer. Now, everybody talks about the big C as if it's some ominous, it's coming after you kind of disease. No. In fact, every single person, including the person that you see right here on this video, has cancer cells in their body. But we also have cells in our body called T cells and other cells that fight mutating cells, that come and gobble them up or force them to convert back to healthy cells. And so what you have when you develop cancer is where your immune system that's designed to keep cancer cells in check is declined, and then cancer cells get stronger and start to replicate themselves. So when you are healthy, your immune cells, your T cells, are operating at an optimal level, keeping cancer cells or cells that are trying to mutate under control. So you have a situation where the body is keeping those kinds of cells that are trying to change, that are trying to turn into bad boys in your body, keeping it under control. But if you are not taking care of yourself, if you're you got all kinds of bad habits, you're not drinking your water, you're eating all kinds of crazy food, your body's become acidic. See, cancer loves to live in an acidic bloodstream. It loves an acidic body. It also loves a dehydrated body. And cancer also loves sugar. And so cancer cells thrive in a highly acidic, highly dehydrated system. As soon as you start to reverse those kinds of conditions, you can begin to fight the good fight against cancer. A lot of cancer centers now are starting to recognize this, and they're starting to incorporate changes in nutrition along with the other protocols. All before, if you had cancer, they're going to try to cut it out, burn it out, or poison it out with chemotherapy. So it was surgery, radiation, or chemo, and that was it. And not one of those protocols is going to cause your body to produce healthy cells. What's going to cause your body to produce healthy cells is a healthy lifestyle. Drinking clean water, breathing clean air, getting regular exercise, getting good rest, which I should be getting right about now. But, doing these things and eating healthy food, not just every day that you wake up, making it on down to the Tiger Mart to get you a 3-piece dinner, a 3-piece chicken dinner, or bopping down to the local Burger King to get you a Whopper every other day. You got to change what you're putting in this temple. You got to feed your body life. Lots of us, if you look at our guts, it's like a graveyard. You're eating these dead carcasses, and I do consume some fish and chicken and turkey and that kind of thing, but we're consuming these carcasses, we're consuming this death, and we're wondering why, death is coming out of us. So my thing is this: we have to be conscious. I'm going to give you my personal testimony. I'm slowly moving myself back to a vegetarian lifestyle. I was a vegetarian for 17 years and loved it. And I slowly started incorporating meat and this kind of thing and there's certain things, I don't know. I really do like certain types of foods now, and I don't know if I really want to completely cut them out, but I'm definitely cutting back. And of course, I don't eat any red meat. But the point is, you got to make sure that you are putting food in your body that you can digest and that is going to get out of your body quickly. If you're consuming copious amounts of meat, you are putting too much uric acid in your body, and you are going to compromise your immune system, because that stuff is going to sit in your body. It's going to putrefy. It's going to rot, and you will have toxins in your system that your system's not capable of processing out. And so those toxins are going to circulate through your system, and they're going to cause your cells to be compromised. And if you're not careful, cancer will develop in your body. So I'm not making this video to scare you, but I'm just trying to make you aware that cancer is not some mystery. Cancer is a lifestyle disease. And if you are not on top of your lifestyle, cancer will take you out of this world. It is a slow, miserable, painful death. And it is completely avoidable. Now, some of us are in situations, we live in certain environments where environmental toxins are beyond our control. Take Flint, Michigan, for example. My heart goes out to the people of Flint in that area who have toxic water coming through their faucets. But once again, if I was living in Flint, Michigan, there's no way I'd be drinking one glass of water out of my faucet without a pure water filter. Not everybody can afford it. Not everybody can have it, but what I'm saying is, if God has blessed you to be able to make the decisions and to be able to buy the kinds of products that are going to keep you and your family healthy, that's what you have to do. You have to make the investment. If you can buy a $600 cell phone or $500 cell phone, you can put a $35 water filter on your faucet and protect you and your family so that you don't end up with cells in your body turning into ninja cells, okay, and mutating and causing your body to develop tumors and this stuff metastasizing and going to your brain and all this kind of craziness. We got to stop this. And yeah, your doctor is not going to tell you that any of this stuff has contributed to your cancer. You know why? Cancer is big business in America. He's not going to tell you that drinking alkaline water is going to help keep you cancer free. He's not going to tell you that. He may tell you to stop smoking, yeah, but he's not going to tell you to stop eating white rice. He's not going to tell you to stop that using Himalayan pink salt is the best salt for you to use. You have a few doctors out here with integrity who are actually approaching their patients' lifestyles. But the vast majority of them, all they want to do is medicate you and operate on you with those three protocols: surgery, radiation, chemotherapy. And that's a wrap. Now you make a decision. You decide. I've made my decision. You know, I know what I'm trying to be about. I know how I'm trying to live my life. And I'm going to make sure that what I put in my body, you know, that I'm conscious of what I put in my body and how it is affecting every single solitary cell in my body. You know, and you just got to put your foot down and not tolerate people poisoning your system. You got friends who want to smoke around you, friends who want to put you down because how you want to change your diet, how you want to eat, friends who don't want to hang out when you want to go exercise, they don't want to run with you, they don't want to go with you to the gym, or they don't want to support you. You might need to get you some new friends, or be by yourself for a while. That's a good thing to do. Get in touch with you. And I believe that you will find yourself coming out a lot more powerful, a lot more at peace with your body, with your mind, with your spirit, when you make decisions that, look, I'm going to take charge of my health. And it's possible. There's so much information out here, it's crazy. But you have got to make the decision to eat right, to exercise, to relax, to pray. Seek ye first the kingdom of God and his righteousness, and all these things shall be added unto you. God does not intend for you to suffer needlessly so. And it's not his will for us. And so I'm telling you that this is our time. This is the day that you need to make a decision to change your life before it is too late. We don't need to lose another precious soul to cancer. And we certainly do not need to have one more dime of our hard-earned money spent on any of these protocols that do not work. We need to take charge of our health. I love you in the Lord, and I pray that the spirit that I was trying to convey was received. It is time.